Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to this week's edition of Monday Motivation. My name's Jenny Kovacs, and this morning we're going to be talking about going for it. Going for it and 5 really simple steps to help you go for it, whether it's today, whether it's this week, or whether it's this month, because this is a bit of a triple whammy. Not only is this a Monday motivation for today, this is also a Monday motivation for the week, and a Monday motivation for August. So whatever you're doing in August, whether it's a holiday, whether it's you're going for it, you're pushing through, I just want to say thank you for joining, because this is Monday morning, this is 7 o'clock in the morning, and already I can see that 2 of you have hopped on, 3 of you have hopped on, and let's hope the internet is kind to us. So as usual, I've written a few things down, and it's quite funny because people often ask me with Facebook Lives and things what I have done, what preparation I do. And although I do a lot of preparation, as you'll see from this week, these are my notes. Given to me, good morning ladies. I can see Avoda's saying good morning, and I can see Julia's saying good morning. And funnily enough, Julia, you might recognise this paper. So this is what I've written my notes on. So I know that you guys are really rocking it in the world, that you've got big plans, I would say ambitions, but there's more than ambition. So let me tell you why I chose this subject this week. I was actually going to talk about something else this week, and then really bizarrely, and I don't always believe in coincidences, so really bizarrely, 2 clients of mine, I was having conversations with them, coaching calls and things like that, who bizarrely have got the same name and same first names anyway. And we were talking about going for it. There were things they wanted to do. And what I noticed was a couple of weeks ago when I was initially talking to them or speaking to them, they told me of plans that they had, things they wanted to do, places that they wanted to go for it. And last week was the catch-up week. And it was interesting. Julia's saying, "Oh, I do recognise that paper." Everyone else is thinking, "What on earth are you two talking about?" But anyway, so last week was catch-up week about going for it, about going for the dreams, ambitions, and the plans. And one person came back and they're like, "I'm going for it. I'm doing this. I've put these steps in place." And another one came back, kind of apologetic to me. Which is never needed, and to themselves saying, "Yeah, well, I haven't quite been able to do it. It's been a very busy week. Things have been back to back." And it just got me wondering how 2 people, just these 2 people who were starting out in doing something, how one was able to go for it seemingly quite easily and the other one struggled. Now, the thing as a coach that I see that really kind of almost grabs my heart is the struggle, is working out what we can do to let us struggle less, or to make us break through our barriers, because a lot of the time it's self-believing. So the first thing that I noticed with the 2 people was that one of them just committed to it. They decided to commit, even though they didn't know how it was going to work out, what was going to happen. And to their, credibility, they didn't even really know how they were going to do it. They just committed to it. Now, so many people say to me, "Oh, Jenny, I'm committed to making my business work," or "I'm committed to being the best salesperson in my team. I'm committed to managing, this team of people." And my execs kind of say, "I'm committed to making sure that the strategic objectives are reached in this company and that it's done under my watch." But how many of us say we want to commit and actually commit, like go all in? Trust me, I've had my times, as many of my friends and people around me, my coaches will tell you, where I've had my own wobbles and thought, "I can't do this anymore." And once you start to verbalise that and you get out of commitment, all of a sudden it becomes so much harder. So I'm going to share with you 5 ways, and you can kind of just start going for it right now, right today, right from watching this video and getting started. It's a new week, it's a new month, it's a new day, so why not do this? So the second point that I wanted to make was, end of my notes, was that the next thing to do is to decide. So once you've made that commitment, decide exactly what it is you're going to do. Decide exactly what it is on how you're going to commit. Don't worry about the how it's going to get done or how you're going to do it. It's a bit like walking up a staircase, you know. You know you're going to get to the top. You know that you're going to put one foot in front of the other, but you don't always know about the journey on the way up. So why not make the decision, like first of all commit, and why not make the decision to decide? So I just want you to take a moment. I'm sure for those of you that have hopped on here live that there is a reason that you're watching, and a reason or something that's spinning around your head or your heart that you want to get out there, that you want to get done. Maybe it's just for today, maybe it's for this week, maybe it's forevermore, maybe it's for this month. It doesn't matter. So I hope you've got that thing, and if you're able to and in a position to write that down, you don't need to write down the whole kit and caboodle. Just write down a word that reminds you of that. So if it's that you are going to start doing video, or if it's that you're going to start doing something in your business, or is it that you're going to go for promotion at work, or that you want to write a book or get recognised for something, whatever that thing is, just write that one word down. Because now you've committed, and now you've made the decision you're going to do it, you can go for it. And incidentally, if you or any of your friends and people that you know want a bit of encouraging and loving support, I do actually have a closed Facebook group. And what does that mean? It means that when you join the group, only the people in the group can see what you post. That includes any questions you want to ask either them or me. It includes any challenges that you're having, any celebrations where you feel that the people around you, if you said, yes, I've done it, I've actually done this thing, if you feel like they're not supporting you, come into the supportive space. So the Facebook group is called the Visibility Vibes Tribe, and it's for you whether you have a business or not actually. If you're in a space and time in your life when you know you want to make it happen, you know you're going for it, then why not join us with a group of really juicy people, I have to say, that they're always there for encouragement and always have your best interest at heart. Now, I opened this group quite a while ago and didn't do anything with it. I didn't commit, I didn't make any decisions. And just over 2 weeks ago, I decided that I really loved the people that have rallied me, supported me, and helped me along the way. So I really wanted to be able to almost like have loads of supportive people together, and for you to feel the benefit of that support around. So have a search for the Visibility Vibes Tribe. When you ask to join the group, or if you've got a friend in the group, ask them to add you in. I personally accept everybody's request. I want to make sure that it's a good space, and jump in there and join. The decision that I committed to making was that I wanted this beautiful, energetic space on Facebook that you didn't leave feeling drained, but you left feeling energized. So I did what it took. I made a decision, and last night at about 10:30, there were 200 people. This morning I've woken up and there's 202 people in there. Why am I bothered about the numbers on this occasion? I want there to be enough of a variety of people in there for you to find synergy, similarities, commonalities with other people in the group. So I'm looking to expand it, and as a thank you for everyone who's got in there, tomorrow morning you're going to get the first of a couple of really yummy, juicy gifts to help you feel that you are, and help you know that you're making a difference in the world. So look for the Visibility Vibes Tribe. I'll pop a link underneath this video, so if you click on it, it'll take you through to the Facebook group, and I'll accept your request. And I look forward to welcoming you in there. You know, the lovely Julia, the lovely Ivona, who are on and watching this live now, are part of that group. And what I love about them and love about their energy and their spirit is that they not only participate in there, they give of themselves, as well as, being able to ask any questions they want to. So that's the kind of ethos there. It's very reciprocal. Anyway, let's get on to these 5 steps. Quite often when we achieve these feats, maybe we write our book, set up a business, or achieve a promotion, people will pat us on the back and go, oh, you're doing so well. What they sometimes don't see is that in order to do really, really well, sometimes we have to kind of go through these dips. It's not necessary, but sometimes we do, and it's like the breakdown before the breakthrough. So there's a push that happens, and here's 5 really quick steps to help you push. And Julia is saying, come on in, peeps. Oh, I'm glad that Julia loves it. So here are the 5 steps. Very, very quickly, because what I want you to do is, I'd love you to note them down, but I'd actually love you to take action on them this week and come back into the Visibility Vibes Tribe group and tell us how you're going. Tell us if you're, absolutely rocking it, and tell us if you're struggling and if you need help or support or cheerleaders. So, step 1 is around stating what you actually want. Number 1, it's as easy as that. What is it you want? In one of my clients that I was telling you about last week, they were like, I want to do this thing and I'm going for it. I don't know how, but I'm going for it. And that's what they did. That this is not going to cut me off. We just had a bit of a dip. So number 1 is stating what you want. And as I said, the client who went for it and came back and reported great things, she just decided what she wanted. Interestingly, the other client who was struggling thought about what they wanted, but were almost more focused on what they didn't want. So let me give you an example. Let's say you want to bake a cake. If you go into it like, I've never made this cake before, I'm going to bake it, I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I'm going to try it anyway. That's a pretty good way of saying what you want. I'm going to bake the cake. If you were person B, you'd be saying, well, I'm not good at baking, I don't know how to do this, so I'm not sure how it's going to work out, but I know I don't want to burn it, I don't want it to not rise, I don't want it to taste disgusting. Can you hear the difference? So when you state the first step, say exactly what it is you want. And the best way to do this is actually just to write it down, even if it's on a scrap of paper. Write it down, and if you start to say, but I don't want this or I don't want that, read back what you've written, put a line through it and say, well, if you don't want this, what do you want? Okay, really important. So step 2, because I know we've gone over our 10 minutes, I should change my banner to say kind of 15 to 20, but I want this to be really easy, really quick and really doable. So step 2 is knowing deep down, do you really want this thing? Now, I suspect out of the 2 clients, the one that said, look, this is what I want to do, I'm going for it, I don't know how, they really wanted it. Number 2, I suspect, had some concerns, didn't know whether they could do it, and those concerns were enough to stop them. So just double check if it's something that you really want. Quite often, it's well-meaning parents or people around us. I was speaking to someone who was telling me how their parents expected them to be a doctor. So it was something that the parent wanted, not that they wanted. So that's a good example of how that can get in the way. So step number 3, be really specific. When I said to client number 1 right at the start, what are you going to do? Are you going to do this? They're like, yes. I said, when are you going to do it by? They went, soon. And I said, when soon? And they gave me a specific date. In fact, they said within the next week. And I said, when within the next week? So get really, really specific. Get an actual day, get an actual date, and get an actual time. So say by 5 o'clock on such and such a date in such and such a year, I will have done this. Okay, so get really, really specific. The next thing to do is to make sure that you'll know when you've achieved it, especially when you're looking at affairs of the heart. So it's all well and good saying, I wanted to have a certain number of people in that group to make that really juicy community. But what if it's an affair of the heart? What if it's you want to find love? As Ivona will gladly show you how to do that, because she is a relationship coach. What if it's about actually getting something that feels more emotional? So if that's you and you're saying, I want to move house and feel happy, yes, you can say, this is the date that I would have moved. And like put a date down, put a specific time about feeling happy. And when it comes to feeling happy or feeling great about something, I suggest you start with learning how to feel great from exactly where you are right now. That's a subject for another Monday Motivation. So how will you know that you've got these things exactly? What is it you're going to see around you? What are you going to be feeling? What are you going to be hearing? What are you going to be saying to yourself? That kind of thing. How will you know that you are happy? Okay, we don't have any happiness coaches on here this morning, but I do know of a few. So think about exactly what you will feel when you've got it, because otherwise you'll get to the point in time that you want and won't even realise that you've reached it. And it's such a saddening thing when you've done the work up front, you've put in the effort, you've woken up and listened to me at 7 o'clock in the morning, or you've taken time out of your day to listen to this recording. So that's the fourth step. Now, so just to recap, the first step is stating what you want, not what you don't want, but what you want. The next thing is being really, really sure that it's something that you want. The third step is being very specific, maybe putting a date or something like that in. The fourth step is knowing when you've reached that particular place, that aim, even if it's a feeling as opposed to a thing. And then the fifth step is knowing that it is within your own control and your own responsibility if you like to do it. What do I mean by responsibility? I often say that responsibility is your ability to respond to a situation, because once you've put those other 4 steps in place, you'll start to notice the opportunities around you. You'll start to see the things that are possible, and you'll notice how many more strides and steps you can take to attain the feeling, the thing, the goal, the dream, the desire that you want. Make sense? So let me know in the group or even underneath this video whether you're watching it as a replay on Facebook, or whether you're looking at it on YouTube. Or for those of you in the LinkedIn community that are connected with me, I'd love to hear how you use this, because I know that quite often the people that tend to struggle with this most are people who maybe aren't entrepreneurs, they aren't self-employed, they maybe have to work for somebody else, and sometimes they think that restricts them, and trust me, it doesn't. One of my clients over a year ago was able to obtain a £15,000 pay rise from going through some of this stuff. So the only thing that you need to do right now is make your commitment and make your decision, because people matter, you matter, and those people are you. If you've got any questions, hit me up in the box below. If not, I really want to invite you to go on and have a really juicy week. Let us know what it is that you're aiming for. And if you want to incubate it a little bit and don't want to put it on this public page, then by all means, go over to the Visibility Vibes group and pop it in there. So thank you so much for joining me. I think I've run a little bit over 10 minutes. In fact, we're coming up for 18 minutes. So thank you for joining me on this Monday Motivation. Let me know how you get on. I often wonder what difference this might make to you, if you need help, if you need nurturing. So thank you for joining me, and put this day in your diary, like this page, so that you get a notification of when we get started next week. And a special thank you to Julia and Ivona for joining in. Julia is going to be doing something amazing this week. So if you're a self-employed business and you know that you've got a high-end package that you really want to get out there in the world, then definitely go into the Vibes group and you'll see a post from Julia where you can get involved. Just commit and decide, and the rest will be taken care of. Have a fabulous Monday. Thank you for joining me, ladies, and bye for now.